What's going on, you guys? It's Hitman Sports Media, and I'm back at you with another one. Look, today we had the Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach weigh-ins. Yesterday we had the press conference. The day prior we had the media workouts. I'm just going to say, as a boxing fan, this has been a very frustrating week for me just because of the amount of coverage this fight is getting. And I get Gervonta Davis is a big superstar in the sport. He's going to get coverage, but this isn't a fight that no one asked for. I have not been excited about this fight since the moment it was announced. I'm sick of seeing Gervonta Davis in there with C and B level fighters. I've been wanting to see him step up for years, but this is where we're at. And there's a couple things I wanted to get to in this video that really stem from yesterday after these press conferences. The first is the comments that were made about Shakur Stevenson, with him being boring, him now with DAZN and Eddie Hearn, and how DAZN and Eddie Hearn want to cash him out because they don't fuck with him. They think he's boring and this, that, and the other. And now that Shakur is just now with DAZN, they now want to make the fight, as if Shakur, when he was with Top Rank, was not wanting to make the fight. These were all things that were said by Gervonta Davis, and the reason I wanted to address them because obviously they're all not true. Shakur has been wanting this fight for a very long time. People are going to say that Shakur is boring just because of his fighting style. We know Shakur Stevenson isn't a power puncher by any means, but guess what? He's got more knockouts than Lamont Roach. His KO ratio is higher than the dude you're fighting. He is a big star. It is going to sell tickets. These are all things that Tank and his fanboys, the knee pad boys, have been saying for years. And a lot of the bashing they do of Shakur Stevenson as a fighter, a lot of that is defense mechanisms for it to not happen. That is the fight. They don't want to make this fight happen. Tank, I don't believe, wants to make this fight happen because he knows it's a fight that does not suit him. And I'm not going to say that he can't win the fight. There is a possibility, but for me, I would put my money on Shakur Stevenson winning that fight by decision. But all the bashing that has been done, especially over this last year or two, to make Shakur Stevenson look bad, it's all because they don't want to make this fight happen. But moving on from those things, onto the other things that he said with Terrence Crawford. Obviously, he said that Terrence Crawford, since he's a part of the snack program, he's a steroid user. He's been stopping people. He hasn't gotten rocked. These are things that Tank said yesterday in these press conferences. But as far as I remember, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andrade, these guys are all part of the snack program, but most of those guys aren't knockout artists, aren't power punchers, but they're all part of the snack program. So I believe to say that Terrence Crawford is a steroid user because he's part of that group is a little bit crazy, and I think it just goes to show that Gervonta Davis isn't really knowledgeable about the sport of boxing, and he's just a punk. But moving on to Floyd Mayweather, I didn't even click on the videos, to be completely honest with you. Some of them I did watch, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be reporting on this shit if I didn't see it. But to watch the whole thing in length, I don't think I could do it. But to shit on Floyd Mayweather for any reason, it shows on character. It shows to the character that Gervonta Davis has. No loyalty, no respect, just a punk. Because Floyd Mayweather is the guy who set you up to be in the position that you're in, who protected you for years. I remember some odd years ago, I think it was fresh after the Gervonta Davis-Jose Pedraza fight, Floyd Mayweather went up on Showtime telecast and said, I want to make the Lomachenko-Gervonta Davis fight next. And everyone in the boxing world was like, whoa. Because they thought that Floyd was trying to sabotage his career at that point. Because prior to that, we had heard, oh no, we're going to age Lomachenko. Wow. Lomachenko's old. We're young. We have many years before we make a big fight like that. So at that point, Floyd Mayweather was getting sick of him. And obviously we know that they had a falling out, but to shit on this dude who guided your career and made you to the star you are, it's just, I shake my head to it, you know. it just lets me know the type of person that Gervonta Davis is. Ungrateful, entitled, so on and so forth. But at that point, Lomachenko was a dog. Like, that would have been a great fight, and obviously I would have probably favored Lomachenko going into that fight. But all in all, to wrap this video up, what I want to say is, at what point are we going to actually see this guy fight the best? As I mentioned, the big fight to make years ago was Lomachenko. That fight didn't happen. After that, it was Teofimo. That fight didn't happen. You wanted to fight George Kambosos right after he beat Teo, but that fight didn't happen. Devin Haney got on that fight before he did. But Devin Haney becomes undisputed. That fight didn't happen. Devin Haney moves up to 140, captures a belt in a weight class that you supposedly captured a belt at, but really it was an interim title. That fight didn't happen. Now we got Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis. As of right now, I don't really see those fights happening. Oh, and don't forget, back then, during the Lomachenko time, we had Gary Russell at 126 pounds calling you out. That fight didn't happen. Not to mention Tevin Farmer at 130 pounds when Tevin Farmer had a belt. That fight didn't happen. So just off rip, I can name you like close to, 8 or 9 fighters? Oh, Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor. He talked shit to on X, wanted to fight, but those contracts never got sent out. Talking big boy talk, but those fights never happened. So right there's 8 or 9 fighters that I can list. I'm sure there's more that I'm just not even thinking of. But those are all fights that we wanted to see happen, but didn't happen. So I just want to know, why do you consider Gervonta Davis the face of boxing? I feel like he's yet to prove it. Who do you want to see Gervonta Davis call out immediately after he probably stops Lamont Roach tomorrow night? Who do you want to see him call out? Do you want to see him fight Shakur Stevenson? Do you just want to see him retire and get out of the sport? Let me know what you guys think. Hate, like, comment, subscribe. Till next time. Later.